If you're running Google ads and you're tired of getting junk leads, shitty leads, out of location leads, all kinds of bad leads, by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that. I'm going to give you my playbook that we use in our agency, Clicks Geek, to optimize client campaigns to keep them producing leads over the long term. Here's what I'm going to walk you through on this video. The first thing is the 3 biggest campaign killers that I fix immediately when I first get some data to optimize. The second is how I lower cost per leads with one simple tactic that so many people overlook, but it's extremely easy, but you need data to do it, okay? And I'm going to go through exactly how it works and how you can leverage this to lower your CPL. And the third is the exact keyword optimization playbook that we use at our agency, Clicks Geek, to go into a client's account and clean up the search terms to make sure that the campaign stays producing leads steadily, okay? Because nobody wants to run a Google Ads campaign that 1 week you got leads, next week you're getting no leads or CPLs way 3 times what it normally is. All right, this one thing is going to help you keep your campaigns steady. Spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with increasing your budget, making dozens of new ad variations, or changing ad copy, or even changing your targeting in the campaign audiences, none of that stuff. Okay, so we're inside a client's account, right? This is an auto glass guy, last 7 days, which actually was over the 4th of July holiday, but 23 leads, $26 lead in those 7 days. Last 30 days, 67 leads, $26 a lead. So I'm going to go 30 days, right? And we're going to look at some data here. Now, the first thing we're going to go through, okay, guys, is the 3 biggest campaign killers. Now, those 3 things, and this goes for the first 30 days of a Google Ads campaign, are devices, your search partners / display network. You have to make sure these are off or you're in big trouble, and location targeting settings. People get these 3 things wrong, and it can derail an entire campaign before you even get to the keyword stuff and the ads and all of that, landing pages. All right, so let's go one at a time. So we're looking at data 30 days. And the first thing we're going to do is go to when and where ads showed and look at what we got going on. You'll see here, I have turned off computer traffic and tablet traffic. So all of my traffic is coming from mobile phones. So this is optimized, right? So how you want to use this for your campaign, you want to come into devices and look at your device types and what the stats are, right? So I turned these off because they were converting horribly, right? This mobile traffic for this landing page and this campaign is converting at 36% over 30 days, all right? I think computer traffic was like 12 or 15%, and the lead cost was way the hell higher than what I'm paying right now. So instead of trying to A/B test desktop versions of the landing page, I went all in on the mobile version, which is converting highly, and just turned off computer traffic completely. It's a gigantic waste of money. All right. So devices are one of the biggest levers you guys have in your Google Ads toolkit. So make sure you are using them. All right. The next piece, if we go to campaigns, settings, and it loads, you'll see down here we have networks. There we are. Search network, which is Google Search Partners and Display Network. If you're running a lead generation campaign in Google Ads, you have to have these checked off, okay? You don't have to, but you're going to destroy your campaign if you don't. What we've noticed in our agency, when people want to run Search Partners Network, if they have this box checked, then they're going to get a bunch of leads for people who are way outside of their target location or people who are looking for a job. Point blank, that's the kind of stuff we see. Now, if they run Display Network, they're going to get most likely no leads, tons of clicks, really cheap clicks, all right, a lot. And they're going to get, if they do get leads, they're going to be people who do not speak English or looking for a job or are just really bad leads in all sense of the word, okay? So you want to make sure if you're running a lead generation campaign that you have these 2 things turned off. It's very important. Make sure you, if you have them checked, make sure you uncheck them and then hit save. All right, very important. The next piece, which is location targeting settings. We'll go right here. Have our locations. You want to come down to location options. People get this wrong all the time. You want to make sure you have presence people in or regularly in your included locations. The default is this one, presence or interest. Interest is problematic, okay? Because this is people who are just interested in your location who do not live in it. So you can get leads for people who are across the country but are searching for things in your location. I know it sounds insane, but this is a massive problem, okay? So you have to have these three things done, all right? You got to have your devices optimized, make sure search partners and display networks turned off, and you want to have the correct location targeting settings set, all right, which is presence, people in or regularly in your include locations. Next, we have how to lower your CPL, cost per lead, with one simple tactic. And this is overlooked by so many people. It's kind of crazy, but there is some rules you have to follow, which you're going to go through. So you want to do this optimization with minimum 30 days of data. You're going to be able to do it way faster and better if you have more data. So do it with the minimum 30 days of data. You're going to go into your campaign. We're going to go into the keywords, and you're going to sort by cost per conversion. So what you're looking for is keywords that are converting, but the CPL is way outside of what your target is. Okay, it's way too high. And when you have something like this one here, $100 a lead, when everything else is $26, $27, this $100 lead is dragging up the average CPL across the entire campaign. Now, in a lot of campaigns, you'll see multiple keywords with high CPL, so you can pause. This campaign's pretty dialed in because obviously our agency is working on this, but you want to look for that first. So the first thing I would do is, all right, windshield replacement Denton. So one lead, $106 a lead, $9 a click. So just to make sure this really is a bad lead, I'm going to go back another 30 days to make sure. Just give it a bigger data set of what's going on. And now I have to find it. So look at that. If you go back on a bigger data set, the lead cost drops down to $39. So it's really not a bad lead. This is the kind of stuff you got to watch out for. You'll see here these two leads were paused because the CPLs are really high. And this one looks high, but it's not in a 30-day range. So you really have to do a balancing act here. So in this specific example, I would not pause the Denton keyword, right? Because it sent $39 lead over the course of 60 days. So that tells me that we're using target CPA in this campaign. Google's being algorithms fluctuating, and it's going to come back down. So an example of how you would use this and pause it is if you have 30 days and it looks bad, and you go 60 days and it looks bad, then pause it. Okay. That's what I would do here. And this is going to save you a ton of money doing this. Now there's another side to this coin, and that is clicks. So pausing keywords that are getting a lot of clicks and are not converting. So how we do that, and you want to do this on a big range, so like a 60-day data range. And I think this guy's new, so I'm not really sure how much data we have, but 386 clicks is a lot, so we'll see what we can do here. So we're going to sort by clicks now and kind of work our way down and see if there's anything that looks terrible, which, again, this thing's pre-optimized, so there's not much here. So how I would do this, let's say I'm going through, I sorted by clicks, and I'm seeing clicks here, and they're 15, 25, 27, and let's say this one got no leads, right? Then 27 clicks. You're going to want to pause that, okay? And I paused this one because the CPL is really high, so we don't want it. But if this was 0 for 27, you got to pause that because that's going to stop the bleeding on all of it. Spent $237. So that's $237 now that you're going to save going forward that can be applied to good keywords and spread across those to get more leads, right? So you want to cut the bleeding by pausing keywords that are not converting. So now you might be wondering, okay, but how many clicks should I look for? And honestly, that is totally dependent on what niche you're in. It could be different and what you're paying cost per click wise, right? Because some niches you pay cost per click with $2, so you can afford to get 20 clicks and no conversions. And some niches, like plumbing, you're paying $37 a click. So you cannot afford to have a high amount of clicks before you pause it. So you have to use discernment when you're doing this. But my general rule of thumb for our agency, if a keyword does not have a lead after 12 to 15 clicks, we generally pause it. All right. So that's our rule of thumb with that. However, as I said, it can be niche and market dependent based on what the cost per click is. But just doing these two optimization tactics alone, you're going to drop your CPL insanely fast. Okay. When you start doing this, you're going to notice a drop in CPL pretty much the next 7 days after you implement this optimization. Last but not least, the exact keyword optimization playbook that we use in our agency. I'm going to show you how we do it right now. So for this one, you're going to want to do this optimization on a weekly basis. Okay. Every 7 days, you're going to want to go into the account and clean up the search terms. So let's move this to 7 days. Actually, let's put this one to 30 because this is pretty optimized. I want to make sure that we have some stuff we can optimize. All right, so we're going to go into the campaign. We're going to go into search terms, right? Under insights and reports, search terms. Now, what you're going to look for, you're going to want to sort by conversions and have all your converting stuff up here first. So the first piece of this optimization is we're going to scroll down past everything that converted. All right. Actually, we should do by clicks. And we'll do clicks first. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to scroll down and we're going to look for keywords that are things we don't want, right? And for a perfect example is $99 windshield replacement mobile. That's terrible lead for us. We don't want that lead. You can see we excluded it. So how you're going to exclude this, there's two ways you got to do it. Now, we have a tool called Keywordme. It's up here. And I'm able to just click $99 and it grabs that and puts it in the tool for me to then match type so I can add them in my negative keywords. If you don't use Keywordme, then you have to do it in a spreadsheet with a third-party match type tool, which is fine. But if you want to try Keywordme, there's a link in the description for a free trial. All right, so you're going to grab the root negative keyword, which is $99 for windshield replacement mobile. And you're going to check the box here, and my tool grabs the whole keyword automatically, but it's also going to add it in Google. So you're going to want to find the root negative keyword and grab the whole keyword. And we're going to add those as negative keywords. Then you're going to scroll down. Windshield replacement cost estimator. So the word cost estimator, I'm going to highlight that with Keywordme and add that to my list. Perfect. And you're going to want to copy that and paste it to your Google Sheet that you're using. So cheap, you might not want to do cheap stuff, right? So you grab the word cheap, add that to your negative keyword list. Working your way down. Working your way down. Looking for anything that sticks out. So I don't know what that is. I'm just going to skip it. Looks pretty good so far. Our guys are doing a good job staying on top of this. And we're just kind of looking for anything that pops out that has something bad in it that we don't want our ads to trigger for. All right. And again, guys, you're going to want to do this on a weekly basis. So car screen replacement. So screen, that's the root negative keyword. We're going to grab that to our list. So copy that, put it in your spreadsheet, or if you're using Keywordme, click that. Scroll down. Front glass looks good, looks good. You know what I forgot to do? Grab the whole keyword. So we're gonna grab that whole keyword. Near me windshield replacement looks good, looks good. All right, so that's pretty much out of the first 100 all I found. So let's just assume you went through this and you found a bunch of bad keywords. You're going to look for, again, root keywords and the whole keyword. So we already grabbed our root keywords. I have them up here in Keywordme. And if you're following along with Google Sheets, you should have in your Google Sheets all of these listed. So then you have to paste those into a match typing tool and match type them negative. Phrase match. Because you want to add your root negatives as phrase match. And then the next thing we're going to do is come up here to add as negative keyword. Campaign, and it automatically puts them in exact match negatives. You can change that to phrase match if you want, but for the entire keywords, I usually just do them this way. So you hit save, and that adds them to the campaign. Next, we're going to go into keywords, negative keywords, blue plus sign, and the list we just built going through the search terms in Keywordme. I'm just going to match type them with phrase match and hit copy all and simply paste them in here. If you're using a Google Sheet, then you're going to have to copy the keywords here. You're going to have to go to a tool like AdWordsWrapper.com, I think is one of them. Paste the keywords in, match type them into phrase match like these, and then paste them in here. And then go to save. And then you just walk through your search terms, found a bunch of random things that you do not want your ads to trigger for, and you added those to your campaign. Now going forward, your ads are not going to be triggered when someone types in a keyword that has the word cheap in it, screen, cost estimator, $99, YouTube, like all of this stuff. So you want to make sure you're going through and doing this on a rolling 7-day basis. It's extremely important, okay? This is how you keep campaigns producing leads steadily and predictably, all right? If you don't do this, you're going to keep accumulating all this trash in your search terms, and your leads are going to dive down, your cost per lead is going to go up, and everything's going to tank. So you have to really do this at least once a week. If you're spending a lot of money, so this guy's spending $100 a day, right? If he was spending $500 or $1,000 a day, I would be doing this twice a week. All right, so it really depends on the volume of keywords that you're looking at. So keep that in mind. The next piece of this, though, there's one more thing I want to show you, which I wasn't going to, but I'm going to, is how to pluck out winning keywords from the search terms to add to your campaign. These are keywords that are sending you leads that you're not even currently bidding on. Okay, so we are back in the search terms report. I'll make sure I cleared out Keywordme. Good to go. And now what we're going to do is sort by conversions. And we're going to look for keywords that are sending us leads that we are not currently bidding on in the campaign. You can see here, added means we've added them. All right, so here's a great example. In the ad group windshield replacement, SCAG, which is not really a SCAG anymore, the keyword windshield replacement cost has sent us 2 leads for $6.43 a lead. That's an amazing keyword. So I'm going to, number one, I'm going to grab this keyword in Keywordme, and I'm also going to grab it in here. But you're going to want to click this and make sure it's in the correct ad group. Okay, it's very important. Number 2, mobile auto glass replacement is sent 2 leads, $18 a lead, but that's the wrong ad group. Okay, so this is where you're going to have to be careful. You don't want to add keywords that are converting to the wrong ad group. So this keyword should go into the mobile auto glass replacement ad group. So I'll grab that one. And we're going to keep working our way down, right? So windshield replacement, auto glass replacement, no. Car window replacement near me is windshield, no. So you're going to want to go through and just look, and you're going to want to pluck out the stuff that you're not bidding on and put it in windshield replacement near me. Look at that, windshield replacement. That's a good one, $6 lead. So you're going to grab this one too. All right, and we're going to put them in the correct ad group. So the ones I've selected here, windshield replacement near me and windshield replacement cost, will automatically, if I go to add negative keyword, put them in the right ad group. This, if I do, is going to put it in the wrong ad group, which is a problem. So I'm going to uncheck that. And I'm going to add the 2 in the correct ad groups, right? So campaign level. I know it. What am I doing? These are negative keywords. I'm adding keywords. I went to the wrong one. One sec. Add as keywords. Sorry, guys. Then you're going to match type them. You can do exact match, which is brackets. And this is the long way of doing it. Do that. Make sure they're in the correct ad groups, which I'll show you in a sec. Over here, because Google will put them in the wrong ad group. So make sure. Then you hit save. So using Keywordme, there's a much faster way to do it. I'm just going to go into the ad groups. I'm going to do phrase and exact match because that's how I add my keywords. I'm going to copy them. I'm going to go into that ad group, go into the keywords in that ad group, which are right here. Windshield replacement, exact and phrase, paste, save. And now we're expanding our campaign, our ad groups with keywords that we're not currently bidding on that are sending us leads. And this can be tedious if you're doing it the old way. Keywordme makes it really fast. So you just want to go through the search terms, pluck out what's converting, put it in the correct ad group, and you're going to expand your campaigns much, much faster and with high intent stuff that's actually already sending you leads that you're not bidding on. If you guys want to learn more Google Ads optimization tactics, join my free school. It's called Google Ads School. There's a link below. 100% free, and I have courses and trainings, and you can join the community, and we can walk through campaigns together with our community and me and see what you got going on and make sure you get your campaigns turned around.